Welcome back to another episode of Whip Media TV. I'm your host, Whip Media Mickey, aka Mickey Made It. If you're new to the channel, you know what to do to the Channel 5 Tribe. Subscribe right now. I appreciate all the love, all the support I've been getting from you guys. Let's just jump right into this episode. On today's episode, I cover Hip Hop 48 Laws of Power, Part 5.
Put the thing down. Look up. You're missing stuff. What is the long-term effect of too much information? We don't know, but we're finding out. I know in my country, the polarization of the electorate, a mean-spiritedness. We've gone from radio presidents to television presidents, to internet presidents, to a Twitter president. Where are we going? And I'm not just knocking that man. I'm talking about all of us. Can you put it down? Are you using it, or is it using you?
Law 36. Disdain things you cannot have. Ignoring them is the best revenge. The less interest you take in things that irritate you, the more superior you seem. By acknowledging your enemy, you give their existence credibility and therefore power. You see, the more you want something, the more it eludes you as your interest is too strong, which makes others feel uncomfortable and fearful. Occasionally, it's best just to leave things alone. By turning your back on what you want, you will drive your opponents crazy. Law 37. Create compelling spectacles. By generating grand, spectacular gestures, you will heighten your presence and your power. People will be too dazzled by appearances to uncover what you are really up to. As opposed to using words, visual gestures contain an emotive power and immediacy to leave no room for doubt. You see, where words divide, images unite. Use this to your advantage. Law 38. Think as you like, but behave like others. You see, by constantly going against the grain in public, people will begin to resent you for making them feel inferior. Practice blending in and hiding your true feelings to nurture the common touch. By doing so, you will be left alone to express your true beliefs in a targeted manner. Once a base of power is established, you can then begin to disseminate your beliefs gradually, and they are more likely to be adopted. Law 39. Stir up waters to catch fish. If you can stay calm while infuriating your opponents, you can gain an advantage. By finding their weaknesses, you can disturb them and play with them at will. The more angry they become, the more ridiculous they will appear. This will reduce their power. Law 40. Despise the free lunch. Never trust anything that comes for free. Anything of worth is worth paying for. Most things that come for free come with a burdensome psychological price tag. By paying, you avoid falling into the trap of having to be grateful, guilty, or deceitful. Further, being lavish with your money is a sign of power. Generosity softens up your opponents into being deceived. Law 41. Avoid stepping into a great man's shoes. You see, what came first always seems more original than what follows. Don't get lost in the shadows of those that came before you. You must establish your own name and identity by not following the same course of your predecessors. Law 42. Strike the shepherd and the sheep will scatter. All trouble can usually be traced back to one individual. By rooting out this individual and preventing them from operating, you will stop their influence. Don't waste time, or their influence will multiply. In every group, power is concentrated around one or two people. Consequently, understanding who controls the group is critical. This is made more challenging as troublemakers prefer to disguise their actions, isolate their power, and they become redundant. Law 43. Work on the hearts and minds of others. If people feel coerced in acting in a specific way, they will resent you. Instead, you must seduce others so that they act how you want without you having to ask them. By understanding their psychologically and their weaknesses, you can play their emotions and conquer their hearts and minds so that they are loyal to you. By softening them, you can slowly bend people towards your will without them realizing. Law 44. Disarm and infiltrate with the mirror effect. By mirroring your opponents and doing exactly as they do, you humiliate them and cause them to overreact. By making them believe you share their values, they find it challenging to work out your strategy as they are blinded by your mirror. You're also able to teach your opponents a lesson by giving them a taste of their own medicine. Law 45. Preach the need for change, but never reform too much at once. If you have recently entered a position of power or are an outsider trying to make a claim for it, respect the way people have been living up until this point. Too much change will engender a revolt. Law 46. Never appear too perfect. While appearing superior to others is dangerous, to appear faultless and without weakness is even more perilous. By displaying harmless vices, you prevent envy from developing and you make yourself appear more approachable. By letting envy fester, it can manifest in a host of problematic ways that will ultimately try to rob you of your power. Law 47. Don't go past the mark you aim for. In victory, learn when to stop. Don't let success go to your head. The moment you achieve victory is often when you're at your most vulnerable. Don't get ahead of yourself with your overconfidence and push beyond your initial target. This could create more enemies than you are capable of defending. There can be no substitute for meticulous strategic planning. Once you reach your goal, stop. And law number 48. Assume formlessness. By being tangible, you open yourself up to attack. To be malleable, adaptable, makes you ungraspable. Accept that everything everywhere changes and embody this truth. By being as fluid as water, you protect yourself from the ever-shifting nature of reality. By refusing to adapt and to change, you fail to evolve, and your power will usurp. The powerful are constantly adapting, and their power comes from the speed at which they can change. Hip Hop 48 Laws of Power, Part 5.